Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carol, or my mom Carol, whatever you want to call me. It's been a little bit since I've been on. I've been trying to process a lot of things. I did go to see my rheumatologist, and I got answers, which was really a good thing. And it was kind of the answers that I was kind of learning how to process. So I am actually going to be making a series about this. So for those of you who have been with me, I might be repeating some of the things that I've already said. But for those of you that are new, I think this would be something good if you want to follow me. And there is one bug in here, and I swear he's driving me crazy. Well, it could be her, I don't know, but it's just driving me nuts. But anyway, I do have some notes, so I didn't go off course, because I have a tendency of doing that. So I'll start out. Looking back, the signs were there long before I had a name for what was happening. At first I thought maybe I was just tired, maybe stressed, maybe getting older. Maybe I just needed to push through. But little by little, my body started whispering things, and things I couldn't ignore, and eventually it got to a lot of pain. There wasn't one dramatic moment where everything changed. Now, let me go back just a little bit here. I was in a hospital in 2021. I had long COVID. I had COVID pneumonia. And afterwards, it was about 2 months later when my doctor had told me that I had long COVID. And he said, with long COVID comes a whole plethora of things that, that could go wrong with your body. So I kind of dealt with that. And one of the things that happened was about, I would probably say 3 or 4 months after he had said it was long COVID, I developed Hashimoto's disease. So those of you that have thyroid issues, you already know what comes along with the thyroid issues. Your feet, your feet getting really cold, your body temperatures changing, waking up just in pain. You don't want to do anything. Your joints hurt. Everything hurts. There are so many things that go along with thyroid. So, again, it was a thing of I didn't know that they could kind of overlap one another. But the thing that I did know was it was increasingly getting worse. So, I started noticing I was exhausted in a way that sleep didn't fix. Now, at that time, I can tell you I was sleeping for 14, 16, 18 hours. And when I would wake up, I would be just as tired as I was when I went to sleep. And that's kind of where my doctor thought I had sleep apnea. And, he could have been right. He wanted to do the sleep study and everything. And I said no. I just felt that it was something deeper than that. So getting dressed felt harder. Cooking dinner felt overwhelming, especially up to, I would say, the last month or 2 months. Cooking dinner, it's a chore. And standing for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it literally feels like my legs just stop working and like I'm just going to fall. So that's something that I really can't do too much of anymore. So what I try to do is when I know that I might be cooking something or helping my daughter cook, I sit down. So I choose the things like peeling potatoes or making a salad or things like that that I can actually do seated so I don't have to stand. Running errands. I used to really enjoy going to the store, and again, those of you who know me, I think I've talked about going back to when I was a thrifter, and I would, I sold on eBay, I sold on Etsy, I sold on Poshmark, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But it got to the point that even lifting the packages was getting to be too much. So I wound up donating everything that I had, and I said I've got to do something that doesn't require me to have to do that much. Now, of course, my idea at that time was books. Okay, so books aren't that heavy. Books are that heavy. When you're lifting, 3 and 4 and 5 books at a time, yeah, they're heavy. And doing one at a time was just too much. So then it got to the point, I forgot to tell you also, in December of 2022, I fell off my porch, I broke my back, and I have like 4 spurs in my neck. So you can think, with everything combined, okay, the fall that I had, the Hashimoto's, long COVID, okay, so put them all together, and you're trying to think, okay, so this pain comes from when I fell off the porch, and this pain comes from, it's got to do with the Hashimoto's. And it's like, okay, so what one is it that is really causing, all of the problems? So there'd be days I would wake up and it literally felt like I had the flu. Just day after day after day, I would just feel like I had the flu. My body ached, my head ached, my ears hurt, everything. And then, you go through the brain fog of wondering, why did I even walk into this room? Now, yes, it's common. It is common to, I think we all do that. But for me, it was a thing that it actually started to scare me, because I know I'm getting older, and I know about things like dementia and Alzheimer's, and that was one of the things that was worrying me, was some of these things that I was doing. I just felt like, am I like going in that direction, or, exactly what is going on? So I said, when I went to my doctor this last time, he said, you've got what was it? Myalgia rheumatica. No. Polymyalgia rheumatica, which is basically a thing that it's all got to do with your immune system, and it progressively gets worse, but then it's something that could sometimes only last for 2 months or 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, and then it just like leaves. So I was so happy when I found out that there was something and it had a name. So then I went to my rheumatologist, and he went over my results of my blood work. He went over my doctor's notes, And he said, you don't have polymyalgia rheumatica. He said that is something that it just kind of comes on suddenly. It's not something that builds up over time. So he said he had me do some tests in his office. And he said, now, do you want your diagnosis? And he said, first of all, let me tell you, you're not crazy. He said, because you've been looking for answers, you've got all these things going on, and really not many people actually believe it, you know? And they'll tell you it's all in your head. So he said, but here's what's going on. You have fibromyalgia. He said, with the tests we just done, looking at your blood work, where all the pain is, because I had every pain point that they show on a diagram of, you know, the pain in my wrists, elbows, knees, ankles, feet, hips, all of those pain points. So I realized I was not imagining things. This was something real. I wasn't weak because I felt sometimes like I was just lazy. I had the guilt of I'm just a burden, and why is this happening? So I finally had the answer. It was fibromyalgia. Now, the only problem is there is no cure. So the only thing that I can do is go under pain management, and that's really it, is try to make my life as, I don't want to say comfortable, but to try to deal with knowing how my life is changing. So as I've been gone, like I said, as I've been gone the last week or two, it's been a bitter pill to swallow to realize that I don't know from day to day what's going to be going on, and that there is no cure. So, but the other thing that I've also found is I'm definitely not alone. There are so many people that have been diagnosed, you know, that now that I'm really researching it, you know, and it was something that just wasn't in my, this is another thing. Something that wasn't, let's skip it. Okay, so now y'all know what the, if you were wondering what did the rheumatologist say, well, that's what he said. And the reason why I wanted to tell you all this is because I feel this is something that I need to talk about, and to help me deal as much as somebody else who might be watching who is going through this same thing. Hold on one second. So that's it. So I'm going to be going through a lot of different topics about this, and you know how I'm going to deal, how I'm going to have to adapt, how I'm going to have to change my life and realize my life is not what I thought it was going to be. So if you want to hear more about this, tune in. And to my new people who might be watching, thank you for choosing my channel, Finding a Rainbow Through the Rain. For my people that have been with me from day one, thank you. And I love all of you guys. So here is my closing prompt today. If you live with fibromyalgia or chronic pain, tell me, when did you first realize something wasn't right? I'd love to read about it in the comments. So, as I do in every video, there are 3 things that I ask. Number 1, subscribe. If you want to hear more about my journey, subscribe. Or if you have a friend who may be going through this right now, tell them to subscribe. Number 2, find something today to make you smile. There's got to be something. It could be one of your kids, it could be an animal, it could be anything today to make you smile. I actually opened the door before and I had like 8 eyes staring at me from the 4 little kittens that have appeared outside. So kittens have to make you smile. And the third thing, find your rainbow through the rain. Bye, guys.